Hi guys, welcome back. All 3 builds got approved in the US House, and this has now started the next parabolic phase for Bitcoin. I will show you exactly from where we can still take trades because it's not too late, and where we are going in the next coming weeks. I will show you some charts that I haven't shown for a really long time, so you should definitely not miss out on that. We're gonna talk about so much stuff, you have no clue. I've prepared a lot of new charts here, so don't miss out on that. And you know the drill, let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Friday. Today I have to be really quick with my video. We cannot stay here an hour. I have a hard cutoff time in like 30-35 minutes where I have to run. But until then, I will do my best that we get here through everything. First of all, the US House has passed all 3 key crypto builds before they are taking a holiday for a month. As far as, yeah, they take a month-long holiday. And for that reason, they pass now everything because they want to get ready for their holidays. Today, I have got word that today Trump will sign all of them into law. And once he has signed them into law, I expect another pump in the market. So the market is already pumping a little bit, but I believe there will be a bigger pump once Trump is signing these bills into law. The Genius Act was passed, which is the most important bill out of all of them. And yeah, now we only have to wait until this afternoon in the US that they become official law in the US. So I had this morning a look here on Google Trends and wanted to see where we are at in the cycle in terms of retail interest. And I can tell you guys, retail is coming back right now. Retail is getting interested. So we have not seen these kind of levels of retail interest since November. The last time over here in that area was where we started to get a glimpse of retail interest in the market, but everybody knew it was not the right time to start the bull run. So that's why they were a little bit here inconsistent over time. So, but if you remember anything from the 2021 run or 2017 run, then you know that this year, that peak here that we had early this year in January is nothing. You know, that retail interest can stay for such a long extended time up there, you know. So let's actually go here, 2004. Look here, the peak in 2021. And that was the whole month of April and May. Let me see, was this? Okay. So April and May, highest retail interest ever that we had in the crypto market. Here, 100%. So I believe we're going to reach this again, this cycle, but we are just halfway. You know, we're not even halfway through that here. When you look where we are now, we are at 38. The last time, in the last cycle, when we were 38, can I get that? 38, go one, I think February, yeah. Between January and February, and we peaked here in April, May. So that just shows you again that we have here potentially another 2-3 months where the market will run into the end of the year. Something else that I had to look at was also where the Coinbase app is currently ranked in the App Store, because there is the funny coincidence when Coinbase ranks #1 in the App Stores, that this is usually also the cycle top, because then every normie friend will come to you and every taxi driver will ask you, if you tell them about crypto, they're gonna ask you which coin should they buy. I will get thousands of messages again, like on Instagram and TikTok and wherever, where people begging me to send them just 1 Bitcoin. It will change their life. Please, just send me 1 Bitcoin, you know? Yeah, it will also fucking change my life if I get 1 more Bitcoin, you know? So it happens every cycle. Every cycle it's the same thing. When Coinbase app gets higher in the ranks, more idiots basically come around. And for me personally, exit liquidity, you know? So I'm sorry, the markets are not fair, you know? Don't cry in the casino. If you come late to the party, you hold the bag, you know? So I'm dumping on the last couple of people that are actually joining the market, that have them to sit on their backs until the end of the run. And most of you are the same, you know, don't tell me that you would not do that. You know, so if your backs are up because you bought with me together last year and you are up, I don't know, 20x on your render trade, you know, or on your Solana trade, don't tell me you will not sell to somebody that comes in the last month of the cycle. You know, you're gonna do that. You know, there's no moral in that. You know, it's just how the market works. So, and it will be not different this cycle. You know, so when Coinbase app goes here close to number one, I will start offloading most of my positions. That will be one of the indicators that I'm looking at. So DXY reached here 99%. 99 points, pulled back from that. Oh wow, just my scalp trades exploded and closed my trade. I want to show you these trades now. I have to show you past history in a second, but that's fine. So again, I expect here after the weekend definitely a collapse of the DXY to the downside, especially while we are going into the end of the month where we're going to get the FOMC meeting, and that potentially not only will coincide with the resignation of Jerome Powell. So here's what I think about the FOMC meeting. Maybe Jerome Powell will be still there and do this, and he will either resign the day after or after the August recess where everybody goes on holidays. When he should come back in September, I think that he will then resign. So in the worst case, he does the rate cut then I think it is September. Yeah, in September, and then he leaves so that he has like on the record, you know, that he cut rates and markets exploded even more afterwards, you know. So if I would be him, I would most likely try to hold on until September to get that in my books, you know, and then I would leave, you know, so because nobody wants him anymore, you know, so, and he's already thinking about resigning. So if we get really, really lucky, he does it before the FOMC meeting, so he has like 12 days, you know, in the next 12 days resigning, or he does it just after the FOMC meeting, which is also fine by me, and then we have rate cuts and a hell of a ride in the markets for us. So the next run here on the weekly chart will be a parabolic run. And let me explain you why. I have here this fractal, here, the fractal, and we were following this quite accurately to the upside. So here, the next candle, either the current one, so I actually don't believe it will be this weekly candle, but the next weekly candle should be a parabolic one to the upside, which could reach close to $130,000. Potentially even higher than that next week, not this week. So, but if you want to take this trade, you have to position yourself right now. There's no time to waste for that, because there is a chance that when Trump signs the Genius Act into law today, that, like I said, that we get a massive pump to the upside that could go as high as $125,000. We will not close there, but we will spike up there potentially. So, and here again, another chart, I should have pulled that chart 5 minutes earlier, where we are, how much time we have left in the market. So I have this chart here for like forever. I think I draw this chart 2 years ago. Yeah, it must have been, wait, when I draw here this box, that was, okay, last year, over a year ago is when I laid the last time hands on this chart. I just added this here today. So here I had drawn until end of November that we are going to have a run. So where are we now? We are end of July. So that would give us roughly a 4-month window. A 4-month window, 154 days. What did I say yesterday? What I calculated, it was around 160 days based on the calculations that I did for the altcoins to run. So that kind of coincides here with that area. So, but I don't believe that we go straight into a bear market. That is something that I wanted to point out here today. I don't believe that this is going to happen and we go straight into a bear market. I believe in between here will be a buffer zone where we potentially create a lower high compared to the bull market high, wherever that might be. So the high might be actually by end of this year, the highest high. And I believe still that this will be close to $200,000 or even above that. And then we will have a cool down phase for 2-3 months, and then we're gonna run again, but potentially then, like I said, a lower high, not a higher high, no new all-time high, but altcoins will then again explode, and then we start the bear market here around April next year. Because you have to understand, the 4-year cycle, in my opinion, is not completely broken, but partially broken because of the institutional money in the market right now. So and that distorts things, you know. So, and for that reason, we also will have an extended bull run right now than we should have. Normally the bull run should end in Q4. I don't believe that we are going to do that. You know, I believe that we get this cool down phase and then we're going to run again for a month or two, and then that's it. You know, and the problem is institutions are going to do that to send it up again, because retail will think, oh, the run continues. There is no bear market. You know, the institutions are here. It's like with the gold ETF, there was no real bear market anymore for gold. You know, so and they're going to assume the same, and then you get a bear market. Now, when we're looking at the market Wall Street cheat sheet where we are at right now, I believe with a break and a closed candle above $125,000, we're gonna start, early start to be in the frill area. But for the frill area, again, we need that parabolic candle that is coming next week. So, and then we're in the frill zone, and that will last for potentially a month or two before we then get into euphoria, and that is then the final stage for Bitcoin, not for altcoins, for Bitcoin. And then we start the euphoria stage, and the euphoria stage, in my opinion, will not be happening before we break $150,000. Above $150,000, $160,000, there starts euphoria. Everybody goes crazy. Bitcoin's everywhere, TV, wherever. You know the drill already if you're here a little bit. So here on the weekly chart, this weekly candle, if we can close that as it is, or even push higher, that will just give us more confluence for a continuation candle going here to $130,000, $140,000 by next week. Here was one trade that I just mentioned yesterday. I told you this pennant here is about to break out, and when it breaks out, it will start the final leg here of the third wave of the Elliott wave count. So here you would be still not too late for that bullish pennant to trade that, because that bullish pennant target is right now $132,000, which again is giving us confluence with everything what I just said before. So you're not too late to this trade. You just have to take into consideration that you miss out on 1%, you know. But here you're almost still looking at 9.7%. If you would enter this right now, it would be not too late for that. So we will stop loss here at $117,500 approximately. On the Fibonacci extension levels, also here, $130,000, next logical target. We are leaving now this consolidation phase, and that will lead, like I said, to the next pump to the upside. We have here that wick that created our all-time high. These wicks get filled. It works both ways, to the bottom and to the upside. This will be now filled in the short term, potentially even today, you know, so you have to wait. I think it will be from now, wait, 4, so I have to think about 4 p.m. is, it will be for me in the middle of my night when this happens. Yeah, in the beginning of the night will be around midnight for me when Trump is signing this. So I might be still awake for that before that's actually happening. Because I want to trade the pump. You know, I just traded this, like, just before I opened the stream, like an hour before that, I opened 2 trades, already profit, you know, so crazy. I was not even able to post that in the alpha group, but I posted something else there if you want to join that. So here, what did I tell you guys yesterday on the MDX Algo Scalp Gradients? I said, this looks like a continuation move to me. Now you have the confirmation. We broke above the weekly open. That was the signal that you should have waited for if you wanted to enter a trade from there. I mentioned that yesterday morning on the stream. Oh, nice. Cologne. You have no idea how long I've not been in Cologne. I cannot remember when I was the last time there. So here, just in the chat, shout out to Cologne. Here the weekly open was reclaimed. That's why we got the pump here to the upside. You see here also the next biggest resistance area where we have a sell cluster is almost the prior all-time high, and we're going to reach that. Today here, direct indicators turning around. We have here a strong buy signal, which is rare to get this. You see we have here a buy, a normal buy. We have here a normal buy, there a normal buy tag. An S-buy is super, super strong. And that tells me that here is a massive candle just waiting to break here into higher levels, which will most likely happen when we get here closer to the all-time high, to the prior all-time high. And once we are breaking that, I think Bitcoin will go in proper price discovery where we get a move, something like this here, into $130,000. So if you are looking to take here a trade, there's multiple ways, also on the shorter time frames, to take one. One could be here from $121,000, $300. There is currently short-term resistance. We had talked about this for a while. There's another trade here, a distorted W pattern that you could take, where we are about to break the neckline, and you get an early entry at $120,800. Or if for some weird reason we pull back, and you get another chance from $118,900. I mentioned that I cannot, I don't know, guys. I cannot do more than just tell you where the entries are. I said so many times, when we reclaim that neckline, or we touch this neckline or get close to it, enter from there. So I hope some of you guys actually listened. Let me actually know in the chat, guys. Did some of you guys listen to that? When I said, when we come back or close to that trend line, enter from there, because you had the chance yesterday. We retested the 20 moving average, so we were like low enough that you had, by a reclaim, the chance to enter this. I would like to know in the chat what I'm going to continue here. So here on the 1 hourly chart, also that resistance area here in green completely flipped into support right now. Continuation was warranted. When I said, when we break $120,300 here on the 1 hourly chart, you get the continuation. Here you see that W pattern on the 1 hourly chart. That is the neckline of the W pattern. And if you want to play that, also here, you're not too late to do this right now. And then you see here, there's your target. Almost $124,270 would be the target, a new all-time high here for Bitcoin. So you just need to decide on which time frame you want to play, so because targets shift depending on the time frame. So here, if you want a short-term trade, a trade that potentially works today, then the 1 hourly chart might be the right one for you. So if you want something that potentially plays out, or let it be 48 hours, it doesn't really matter. Today, tomorrow, same to me. So, but if you want to play higher time frame trades, then you have to go to the charts that I have shown before and take trades from these levels, because every pattern has its own reason why they are going to these specific targets. So you just need to make sure where you want to play. So here, that trade that I had given a couple of days ago, target achieved. Congratulations if we were able to take that trade. I'm really happy for you guys. That trade was given here from $118,243 on a 15 minutes time frame. Also here, that overall trade from here, again, I cannot do more than just give you the trades where I said re-enter. Remember, I entered this from down here, $117,100 live on stream 3 days ago. So don't tell me I did not do that, so that we did it together. I hope some of you guys did it with me together. So here you're also nicely up right now on that trade. Up 2.85%. On the high side, it was 3.3% in the last coming hours. And we're going to reach our target here of 5.17%. If you're in this trade, just keep holding it. And then you can decide if you want to actually keep holding it longer into the higher targets of the other patterns that are on the chart. So if you want to trade the next trades with us together, guys, then you should definitely sign up on BloFin. There is a pinned link in the live chat, and also in the description, and in the pinned comment after the live stream will be a link where you get up to $5,000 in sign up and deposit bonuses and 20% cash back. And I wanted to mention here again, if you want to be part of my private trading group, where we take right now $5,000 to $10,000, you're still not too late to enter this, but things are going to escalate quick from here. So the last screenshot that I showed you yesterday, that was a couple days old, was $1,200. I'm now over $1,500 up here. So I just want to, I know it's the wrong account. So, but yeah, so I'm up over $1,500 on my challenge account right now. If you want to enter this, follow these simple steps. Sign up with my BloFin link, deposit $500, and then write me and my team either on Telegram or on Twitter with your BloFin UID, and then we're going to add you to that channel. It's that simple. You don't need to do anything else. So now let me show you some of the trades that I took. So I have here a ton trade, already up $440. I just entered this morning, just entered this morning. So I just want to show you the other trades that I took this morning. Here, $1,340, $2,000, all taken this morning. So only this one here I added to this. So originally opened 2 days ago, but I added to this trade this morning and made it bigger. So that's why I count this also for today. In the last hour, I made over $3,000, you know, so, and you see here, here's more, you know, so here, yesterday opened, all closed today. So in the last 24 hours, I don't know how much I made. I made over $10,000 only on BloFin, you know, so, and all these trades were given here on the channel, you know, so all these entries, everything on the channel, you only need to follow what I'm showing you guys. It's really that simple. Now with the liquidation levels, another reason why I believe that we're going to get here a pump to the upside today is not only that we are breaking all these major W patterns and other patterns that we have here on the chart, but also liquidity. Liquidity is up here close to the all-time high at $122,800. There are high leveraged short positions, and I told you just yesterday, they're gonna get punished. They think we go lower when we get here close to the 50 moving average and take crazy leverage because they want to make the generational money in one single trade, you know, so, and then they get burned, you know, so you never short in the bull market. I say this already for a couple of months to everyone that you should never ever do that. I'm not in Phuket. I'm not in Phuket right now. So, yeah. So never short in a bull market. Really simple. While we are going up here now on the liquidation heat map. Also here you see liquidity concentrating right now around $121,500. And when you see something like this, so small, then you know that we are most likely getting here a short squeeze in these levels. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. So once we're triggering the short squeeze, that will get us here all the way up into the prior all-time high, really fast. So that's what I'm basically waiting for, that we get that push here into these higher levels. The concentrated areas down here, they will be not touched for quite a while until we get a proper pullback, which is not happening here right now. But also here, one more warning before I talk here, the Bitcoin dominance. We are heavily overextended on the daily chart for Bitcoin. All indicators heavily overextended. There will be a pullback. You know, there will be a pullback, and I want to mention this again. It might be as early as the beginning of next week. And then we start running again, you know, so just keep that in mind that that might be happening. So now the Bitcoin dominance is breaking right now, that low here that I talked about down here. Finally we are breaking that. So what we need now is that we are closing the current daily candle here at these, basically below 61.9%. So as long as we are doing that, we will get continuation over the next coming days here to the downside. Worst case scenario, a small bounce tomorrow to retest this level, a bearish retest with a rejection to the downside into lower levels. The total free market cap is completely exploding. We're at over $1 trillion. I told you guys when we break here over $1 trillion, we will keep pushing to the upside. This is exactly what we are seeing here right now. So once we're getting here above $1.08 trillion, we're gonna get all-time high in total free market cap, most likely within 48 hours after that. The Ethereum Bitcoin chart is also completely skyrocketing here, but we have still almost 3 days left here. You should not forget that this kind of needs to close like that to get imminent continuation to the upside, which I believe right now is going to happen. I just read an article that was sent to me by a venture capitalist that is an internal document article that he sent me, where they believe Ethereum is not slowing down in the near future. You know, it will just keep going because all the coins that are bought by the Ethereum ETF for staking are off the market. You know, so a lot of ETFs buying right now, a lot of institutions buying right now Ethereum to put them in staking ETFs. And this, basically the staking ETFs are buying the Ethereum off the market, and they are locked away. You know, they stake them to generate yield out of Ethereum. You know, so not only is this deflationary for Ethereum because there is now a hard cap on Ethereum, but also they're taking supply of the market. You know, so and when supply goes off the market, demand is not slowing down, price skyrockets. You know, and that's what you're also going to see reflect in the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So as long as we are closing above here the 0.03 Bitcoin level on the Ethereum chart, we're going to get straight continuation here to 0.035. If you want to trade altcoins, guys, you also see here my altcoin trades on Bybit. They're completely exploding. Here my Aptos trade up almost 40%, almost $6,000. My AVA trade almost 100% up here. Oh, I got locked out. That's fine. So if you want to trade on Bybit with me, guys, up to $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses, plus that you get also a Bybit card if you're eligible for that with 20% cash back. Especially now where you need all your money in the market, you want 20% cash back, you know. So make sure that you check that out in the description and after the stream in the pinned comment below. Ethereum absolutely smashing it here. I want to remind you guys that I pointed that out. If we close above here $3,480, we most likely get a move into $3,700, $800 in that resistance area up here, and from there I expect a net pullback. So there must be a short-term pullback. Look here how long we're already flatlining, but this can go on for a little bit longer, and from what I know from the past, but somewhere in that area here we're gonna stop. You know, so we're gonna stop, get a small pullback, 5, 7, 10%, and it will be quick. It will be briefly and quick, and then we turn around and go higher. Here the Ethereum monthly chart is also is losing its shit basically. We are already trying to break out of that, but we still have almost 14 days left, almost 2 weeks left here. I don't believe that we are closing the candle here above that upward sloping, downward sloping trend line. It would really surprise me if we do that. I would be happy if we do that, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. It would be crazy if we do that. So, but regardless of that, also the next monthly candle will go in direction of $4,000 or $5,000 for Ethereum, in my opinion. So next month will be again super bullish. Here you see another reason why I believe that here might be short-term a pullback looming is that we are running here now into other resistance levels up here. That's why I said like 3,750, 3,870, somewhere in there. So you see here on the Ethereum Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern, there is massive resistance in this area, because here deviation, resistance, deviation, resistance. Now we are coming up again to that level, and this is going on since last year March. So it is a multi-month support resistance key flip zone, and I don't believe that at the first attempt we're going to flip that. So we reach it most likely by today. We're not far away from that. We are like 4% away, 4% away from that. We most likely going to reach that level today, but I don't see us closing above and going straight for $4,000. So it would really surprise me. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I won't be wrong here. Solana, absolutely, just on a tier. Here the trade was given from $168, also on the W pattern. W pattern is, I think, already completed. I just want to have a look here. W pattern trade completed. Now, I mentioned this yesterday. If you're looking for the next trade, you need to wait that we are closing this current 12-hourly candle above $180. And then I would still wait potentially an hour into the new 12-hourly candle and then take a trade from there. Because you can, again, get a small pullback here. We went parabolic since $156, which is not crazy. This is like a 20% move, more or less, in Solana. But you want, the best case scenario, a retest of 180 and then trade this into $207 to $236. So here, let me actually look. I want to see if we can find an entry on the 50-minute time frames quick. No. Yeah, it is still here in that support area from $176 to $180 approximately. Let the 50 minutes chart pull back. Once the stochastic bottoms out and the RSI is going sideways at the same time and not just pointing down, so what you want to see is the RSI can look like this here, something like this, while the stochastic is here on the bottom. But what you don't want to see is RSI doing this and stochastic turning around there, because then you need to wait that the momentum on the RSI is shifting. Then you need to wait when this is happening that the RSI does something like this, you know, that you see like a curve that's turning around back to the upside, or that you get here something like this, you know, to the upside, and then you enter this. If you want to find an entry on the 15 minutes time frame for like a scalp trade or something. Altcoins. I'm now normally on my hard cap where I said I gonna leave, but I gonna want to show you here really quick 2-3 trades. Shit, now I closed, 1 second, close this, and I'm gonna need that. So give me a second, my screen will come back here. Just need to open something. I have some coins on my mind that I wanted to show you. Okay, now screen is coming back. So where does this go? Okay, so let's talk about first ton. So let's talk about ton, because that's also the current trade that I'm running. So I took a trade here based on the daily chart of the break of that resistance line here. So now we are going to test soon the neckline of the W pattern, which is at $3.47. We are not far away from that. So once we break above that level, then the real party starts for ton, because then the next target is $4.18, which is basically here the high from where we broke down in April, where we had Pavel Durov getting arrested in Paris. That caused that massive crash. So, and therefore we got here this reaccumulation phase that's now about to break out. So when this breaks out, we're gonna get really quickly back to here $5-6 in my opinion. That's my short-term target for ton. That's why I took the trade on ton here for that massive target. So you're early in this trade, you know, so you can open this trade right now and you would be still considered early, while I'm up on this trade currently 2%, you know, so I'm up 2%. So on spot, the trade moved 2%. With leverage, I'm up like 10%, you know, so which is not crazy yet, you know. So my stop loss is $3 for that trade. You're not still, you're again not too late for this to enter this right now. Then another coin that broke out is I hope it's the right chart. I think it's on this one here. Uni. I warned you about this. Look at the candle. Did I not tell you guys when we break here $9.67, you're gonna get a massive candle to the upside? So that's where we are at, you know. So here, this I would definitely not enter right now, because this is already only a 12-hourly chart, and we have like a god candle on a 12-hourly chart. So here you need to wait, you know, that we potentially come back to pull back to $9.67 to enter this, and otherwise you need this current 12-hourly candle to close around the current levels where we are at, you know. So and then you can take the remainder of the trade into the target here to $12.43 roughly, and that is another still 20.7% move to the upside that you're looking at. So yeah, depends on how you want to trade that, you know. So I want to mention, if you take it from that level here, there is a little bit more risk involved than waiting for that pullback, but maybe we don't get a pullback. You know, a lot of coins are not pulling back right now. They just keep going and going and going. So you have to make a decision if you want to take that risk or not. But the only thing that I can tell you is just don't take too much leverage. You know, don't take too much leverage. Make sure that that you use like 3 to 5x, you know, and will not get liquidated on your trades. So then Sui, another one. Yeah, so you see here, I had basically this trade set up here that I was trading, 8.88%, and it smashed here exactly into the resistance of $4.23 that I mentioned, which is the neckline of that bigger W pattern. So now I can sit and lean back, you know, and wait until this gets broken. That's why I took the profit here on my trade, you know. So I show it again here on BloFin. That's why I closed it, you know. Look here, $4.2286, $4.2294. So now I go back here, $4.23, you know. So on Bybit, we went a little bit higher than on BloFin, and I was out. You know, I'm out. I made the money. Now I wait. You know, so I wait for a pullback, which we're currently doing. And when we break here above $4.23, then I take the bigger trade. So then I take the W trade. And here I'm going to make another 54%. You know, with the same amount of leverage, I look at here 2.5 times the money that I put in on that trade. And now, because I made all this money, I can roll it over and compound it and make actually even more money than because I have more money now available. So I make more money on the way up. Is logic. Should be pretty clear. So I want to give you also some new trades before I go. So I'm gonna stick here another 5 minutes, guys, but then I really have to go. So, oh wow, fuck. I saw sushi. I didn't want to give you guys sushi, but I did. I looked at this this morning, a couple hours ago before I woke up, and I was like, Ethereum moved already. Sui usually also explodes like right after when Uniswap explodes. Maybe I should took a trade when it was like 5% up. Now it's 20%. Insane. Yeah, so I missed that one. But ICP. Whoa. Wait, that's not the right chart. Here's the ICP chart. Yeah. So here also right now testing $6.14 as resistance for the overall W pattern. Most of these coins are reaching right now the necklines of these W patterns. That's why you see them popping here 5, 6, 10, 20%, because they want to break these levels now. When they're breaking them, they're going to send straight away. So and that is one of the next trades that I want to give you here, ICP, if you want to trade that. The ICP trade, once we break the neckline, $7.75 roughly is the target. And that is a 26% move, and I believe that will take 2-3 days. 2-3 days, then you made 26% on that specific trade. And it will potentially even go higher. No, here's again a resistance area. So yeah, it might pull back here like Sui at that level a little bit. But if you can stomach a 5% pullback, then you can hold it, and it will go here to $8.27, $8.43 before it really stops to run. Then Lido is something that we can have a quick look at. So here also, getting closer to the neckline, target here $1.71. I just said this yesterday, and I also gave you the trade a couple days before, where I said here, if we break 96 cents, it will keep sending. So now we are sending. Now you need to wait here for $1.17 or a pullback to $1.02. So which is like an 8% move to the downside right now. I don't see Lido pulling back 8% unless Ethereum collapses right now and starts pulling back 4, 5, 6% for I don't know what reason. You know, otherwise I'm definitely not seeing that. So wait for the break of $1.17 on the 1 and 4 hourly chart. Then I would enter this, and then pay attention when we get to the downward sloping trend line. That might be the first major resistance here around $1.40, and where we also stall a little bit, like Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin moved up, then consolidated. Now we are ready to get the next leg. Around that trend line, this downward sloping trend line, I expect something similar for Lido to be happening before we reach here $1.70. And the last one is AVAX. Where's my AVAX chart? So this I don't need right now anymore. AVAX. AVAX also here on the breakout of the neckline. Here I gave you the trade from $17.76. So if you took that trade, you are massively up on this here right now. You are up 40% already. And there's still another 60% to go from the W pattern here to $36.10. So that was actually a really, really long trade to hold this, because I had this $36 target for a long time here already on the chart. I think I had it here since February when I saw that we were breaking down. I knew we will come back here. So 5 months, you know, that I was waiting for, that we are moving back to $36 here. So, but now if we are closing today above $24.75, you can take here again a leverage position. 5x is fine on AVAX, and you're going to see it fly here past $30 really, really quickly. So I give you here again a long setup for that with a stop loss on everything. So you can pause the stream if you want and go back to check all of that out. So I have to remove that line here to see where the bottom of that candle is. Yeah, so you have here an 11% stop loss, but you have 46% to the upside. So that is the next AVAX trade. Guys, I have to run. I want to go to the gym when they're opening here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you later again with more money. Bye-bye.